imagine you are a genius programmer. Imagine you have written an operating system called Linux and your name is Linus Torvald and you are actually a genius programmer. Now, a couple of years ago, about almost 20 years ago, Linux was being developed not just by Linus but by thousands of people in the open source community, and obviously they had to write their code together to bring it all into one operating system. Now, at that time, one of the tools that they used to manage all this mess basically pulled out and said, we're not going to support you anymore. So you're a genius programmer. What do? You come up with a solution yourself and say, all right, I'm going to code this myself. And I'm sure it will become the de facto standard for code versioning in the future. And this is literally what happened to Git. So Git, let's explore what this actually is. I'm sure when you've built AnyLogic models, the default approach for all of us is to just model it and save it. The next iteration over that is to say, hey, I better have a backup copy. I will just save what I did today in a separate folder, call it with a name like V1 or the date of the day that you did it, and you end up with lots of folders. Git is a way to manage that for you and a lot more. But let's start at that point. Let's stop versioning our models with separate folders and folder names and all that very nasty mess. So instead, what Git allows you to do is to work on a model and save it and do what's called a commit. You're basically telling this Git system, this is a point in time I want to store. And you continue working and saving and then doing another commit. You're committing to Git and saying there's another point in time I want you to store. And you keep on doing that over time and Git manages that for you. It actually is quite clever in the background. It stores your original model once, but going forward it literally only stores the changes. Now what this means is that you as the user can go back in time any point in time. You can say, oh man, this was a crap commit. Let's move back in time and I'll actually start working off of this commit moving forward. That is one of the base principles. We'll explore the other base principles in the next videos, which are branching and pull requests. But the core principle is doing commits, which are points in time that Git saves for you, and you can always jump back to those.